Here's my spin on Kris Jenner's sweet potato souffle from a girl that's obsessed with Thanksgiving. Here are Kris's sweet potato souffles, made much like a sweet potato casserole, but as you can see, she doesn't do the marshmallows on top, and the recipe is a little bit different than your typical sweet potato casserole because she beats and folds in the eggs, as I do too. Now, I didn't make these last year, but I did make these all of the 3 years prior. And one of my secrets is that I put them in these little mini ramekins. I use the exact same recipe and it makes anywhere between 10 to 12 ramekins depending on how high you fill them up. And like any typical souffle, make sure you leave room at the top because you do want it to puff up, but make sure you also fill it up high enough so that it does puff up nicely. If that makes sense. Okay, but here's the recipe. So I take her traditional recipe, makes 10 to 12 servings in the mini ramekins, sweet potatoes, not yams, butter, the brown sugar, the white sugar, the Eagle brand is a must, as well as vanilla, cinnamon, nutmeg, and then the eggs beaten. All of this is the same. I do lightly butter the ramekins on the inside, and then I also do some coarse white sugar around it. I think it just makes like a little crispy caramel taste around the edges of the ramekin. Make everything as such. Here's where I over sugar loaded, I guess. Instead of just fresh whipped cream, which you definitely can do, I do a marshmallow whipped cream, which is so easy to make. 1 cup heavy cream mixed with 1 jar of marshmallow fluff. Work smarter, not harder. I just use a stand mixer or my typical hand mixer, which you already have out because you're beating those eggs. I have maybe vanilla because I don't really think it adds to the taste. And if anything, it browns my pretty white meringue. Sometimes I add it, sometimes I don't. It really just depends. I try to time this where this is like the last thing I make before it goes onto the dinner table. I'll make the marshmallow whipped cream while the souffles are in the oven, like the last 5 minutes. Them out of the oven, I throw them in the freezer if there's space for like 2 minutes. When I take them out, I put that marshmallow whipped cream on top of each one. And then if you really have the time and you want to go all out, I have one of those torchers that I use to kind of make the brown s'mores effect on the sweet potato souffles. These are restaurant 5-star quality. Family and friends request them every year. You want to make sure you have like 1 per person. So I don't really do it if it's more than 10 people because it's a lot of work, but it's so good. So you can do them this way. I might try this year doing it the Kris Jenner way, which is just getting 2 larger medium-sized ramekins and then putting whoever wants the marshmallow on top, maybe like as like a side station thing. But I just think the mini ramekins like this are so much cuter. Typically I put this like kind of where the bread plate would be. I'm just really mad I don't have my own photos of it because it is so good. I highly recommend you give it a try.